Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. And from the last update, a lot of things were added to Marvel Future Fight, new characters, new uniforms, but one of the funniest things to be added is a bunch of new ranking systems for different setups and different builds for characters. So if you go to the main menu and you go over here and you go down to ranking under the lab, you will find that there are 8 now. You can see, the top people that have the highest agent level, rank per character, which is probably the most popular one, like who has the rank 1 Hulk, who has the rank 1 Wolverine, etc. You can see the most popular characters, you can see the most popular world bosses, and I guess who was used to fight them, I guess. Yeah, who people use to clear these world bosses. ISO 8 set bonuses, CTPs, comic cards, and uniforms. Today, of course, we're going to be focusing on uniforms, because when you go over here, it's hilarious how bad these suggestions are. Now, I will admit that a lot of these suggestions have to do with very recent popularity. So, of course, Holiday Gwenpool and Holiday Deadpool are going to be at the top because they were just released, so they're so hot, so they're being purchased more often. But even if you go to upgrade rank, it's pretty similar. A lot of the top upgraded uniforms that you're going to see are uniforms that were released recently. Now, once you get out of the top 5, it is pretty old uniforms back from Endgame and Jean Grey and stuff like that. But you can see the top 4 there are all from the very latest update, or from the holiday update, which was sort of like a mini update besides Luna Snow. So it's very much influenced by, these popular uniforms are very much influenced by every single update. And I have no doubt that next month, when there's another update and there's new uniforms there, that those uniforms will find themselves on this list. So while it is funny and interesting to go through it, and it's hilarious if you go through the one that is for purchase, you see that once you get out of the top 3, actually in the top 3, there's gold uniforms everywhere. These uniforms are terrible. Like terrible. But they're being purchased because they're basically free. They cost 500,000 crystals. Sorry, 500,000 gold. Could you imagine 500,000 crystals? That's probably how free-to-play players feel about the Gwenpool uniform. But anyways, they're purchasable basically for free, so that's why players pick them up. But again, that doesn't make them good. So I'm gonna make it really simple for you guys. I'm gonna give you my top 10 list for basically the top 10 most valuable uniforms in Marvel Future Fight. This is the must-have list if you've been playing for more than a year and a half, and you like a year and a half tops. If you really suck at timeline and you can't get enough crystals, fine. A year, maybe less than a year, you can grind up enough crystals. Actually, maybe longer if you've been spending crystals on the deluxe packs. But anyways, I digress. Crystals. If you've been playing for at least a year and a half and you don't have most of these uniforms, you're probably doing something wrong. So let's go ahead and take a look at the top 10 most valuable, best, must-buy, absolutely gotta have uniforms in the game. And we started off with number 10, Pimtron, Giant Man. This uniform is one of the best uniforms in the game because you get it to Mythic, and it's only a 750 crystal cost uniform. You grind out his bios from the Dimension missions. It's super duper easy now. It was actually harder before because you had to constantly open rifts. You don't buy Ultron bios, by the way. No, you go and buy this guy's bios right here. And then you purchase an additional pack. This one's kind of a weird one, but that's why it's at number 10. You go ahead and you purchase the additional Ant-Man and the Wasp Legendary Battle for 2,500 crystals. And then you go over here, you beat this stage, and you get yourself a CTP Selector. And that CTP Selector is good for 1 CTP of Rage, or if you're a maniac and you love PvP, a CTP of Regeneration. But it's the easiest and cheapest way to guarantee a CTP of Rage if you don't have your Demonic Pact with the Netmarble Gods for the RNG luck that I do. So that's why everyone basically needs to have that uniform. Coming in at number 9, Rogue's Uniform. And basically everyone is going to tell you to tier 2 to unlock Jean Grey. In order to unlock Jean Grey, you're going to have to tier 2 this gal right here. Unfortunately, she's absolutely garbage with her Jim Lee look. She looks beautiful, and she's got that big caboose, but it's just not worth it to have her as is. So you splash 1,000 crystals, and you end up with one of the best uniforms ever for a character. This is a 0 to hero of the highest caliber. Healing, all defense down, debuff removal, buffs, iframes. You see Colossus, you see Iceman, you see Wolverine. It's just beautiful. It's fantastic. And this uniform is rockin' body. You just got to get it because it's going to give you a solid character for all game modes. Coming in at number 8, we have another utility uniform, and this uniform continues to gain more value as the game progresses. This is Hela's Ragnarok uniform. Now, initially, you pick up this uniform and you get it to Mythic, because getting it to Mythic will get you an automatic CTP of energy, which is the, probably second or third best PvE CTP in the game. It's free. You don't have to make any other purchases. You have to go in and beat this stage. Once you have her uniform at Mythic, you grab that CTP of energy, but her uniform continues to gain value in 2019, moving into 2020, because of the uniform effect. Applies to all allies, so this is a group buff, which makes Hela a support character on top of having a 45% energy attack leadership. Decreases damage received from superheroes by 15% and increases damage to superheroes by 15%. This is an extremely rare effect, and it's extremely rare. She's the only character in the game that gives this kind of a buff to the team. So you can use her for PvE, you can use her against certain world bosses, a la Quicksilver, Cable, and Scarlet Witch, and you can also use her in PvP as a leadership and as a passive buff to fight off, basically most of the best PvP characters, because most of them, besides Thanos and Apocalypse and Doctor Doom and Strife, are villains. So that concludes 10, 9, and 8. Moving on to number 7, we have another PvP-focused uniform. This is Colossus Phoenix 5. Now, this uniform makes Colossus very good. It also gives you a villain, but it's really Peter's Will at tier 2. Now, he's a hard character to get, don't get me wrong, but it's worth it. 50% damage reduction from heroes and villains. You can actually use this in PvE if you find that your characters are dying too often. Yeah, so that absolutely 100% works, and he puts in work, basically appearing on every single PvP team since he was introduced. Literally every single PvP team has him, or 95% of PvP teams do. So to get extra crystals per month, you invest in this uniform, it'll pay you dividends. Even if you're only getting an extra 20 or 40 crystals per week, that adds up. You're getting an extra 160 crystals per month, and then, in less than a year, this uniform has already paid for itself. Now that I say that out loud, it sounds kind of sad. Marvel Future Fight devs, you need to double the number of crystals that we get from Timeline Battle each week to actually incentivize players to make PvP teams. Double. That's right. Double. Thank you for listening. This is my TED Talk. Coming in at number 6 with the new striker changes. Oh my god, the Cynicalex, stop talking about the striker changes. Cynicalex, every video you make is about the striker changes. Shut your mouth. Okay, I need the ad revenue. Listen, this uniform, I can't find it. It's gone. This uniform is Anti-Venom. And once I find it, you'll know that it's really good. Holy crap. This one right here. Yes, you should have it, because now with the striker changes, this guy always does 4th skill, Deadly Maw, so he heals you up. So this is an infinite heal striker. So you pay 750 crystals, and I think it's 750, and voila, you get a, yes, it's 750, and you get a uniform, you get a striker for World Boss that will heal you 5 times per day with 5 different fights, for 30, I think it's like 30% or something like that. 30 or 35% every like 3 or 4 seconds. It's absolutely insane. He is the linchpin for so many world boss clears. It's not even funny. He is the great enabler for characters like Sharon Rogers, Mr. Fantastic, etc. Moving on to the top 5, and I did try to keep in mind that some of these characters are really expensive, but even at tier 2, okay, you gotta pick up this uniform. She is the scariest tier 2 character in the game, and then she is the scariest tier 3 character in the game for PvP. Okay? There's no tier 2 character that frightens me for PvP except her and Silver Surfer, and he doesn't have a uniform yet, but when he gets one, you goddamn right, I'm going to remake this video, and I'm going to put him near the top. But seriously, this uniform is absolutely disgusting, and it's all thanks to Phoenix Awaken. Yeah, so just pick up the uniform. I don't really have to say much more than that. Coming in at number 4, again, for the striker changes, Scarlet Witch. Make sure you pick up one version of her uniform, because the old Scarlet Witch does not have the 4th skill, Striker Madness, which is the mind control, the increased damage received for the enemy, and the mind resistance down, which synergizes oh so well with Psylocke, Apocalypse, and others. So yeah, pick up the one that you like more. Honestly, they're pretty much the same. Some people think this one's actually a little bit better. This one's a little bit harder to play. But just honestly, just go for aesthetics in this case, because there isn't going to be a mountain of difference. But just get her uniform, put her on the team as a striker, and you will reap the benefits, I promise. Now on to the top 3. Coming in at number 3, a character that everyone gets as a tier 2, and that's why it's a very valuable uniform to invest in, Sharon Rogers Darkstar. Now, I have a little bit of hesitation putting this uniform on here, and I'm not trying to jinx you guys who just bought it, but I have a feeling Marvel Future Fight might be replacing this uniform in the next 6 months. The 5-year anniversary is coming up. This is a very close character to the hearts of the developers because this is the first. She is the she's the OG OC. She's the original gangster, original character. She came before Luna Snow, before Crescent, before the Warriors of the Sky. Okay, before the Power Rangers, there was the Captain Ranger. So yeah, she could definitely be getting a uniform, but you know, I would still say it's not a bad 1,000 crystals, even if you get to use it for 6 months. Trust me, it's gonna bump up her production in a crazy way. And now, if you already have this uniform, maybe wait, but honestly, even if you don't wait, you're not really making a mistake. It's an amazing uniform. The crit rate buff, it's a great one. Coming in at number 2, another character that you will unlock at tier 1 pretty much immediately once you start playing, and then getting him to tier 2 is very, very cheap. Captain America Endgame. And I actually recommend this one over Sharon Rogers because of the all defense down buff and because of the new strikers. I imagine that even at tier 2 with the new striker changes, Captain America Endgame could do massive work. So I'm going to throw another sort of mini test, can you do things for me type of request, favor to the community. If you have a tier 2 Captain America and you have Weapon Hex as a striker, and if you have Rachel Summers, if you somehow have that trifecta, but you haven't tier 3'd Captain America yet, throw that bad boy into some world boss action. Let me know. It doesn't have to be a CTP of Rage. It could be an energy. It could be a destruction. It could be a 200% damage proc, baby. I have a feeling he's going to smash Proxima's face in. So let me know. Because, yeah, the synergy between this and a Weapon Hex is absolutely amazing. And we didn't need to use the tier 3 skill, so it's possible that you don't need to be at tier 3 either, but the stat bump is a lot, so it's a bit of a question mark. And then coming in at number 1, the reason why I was encouraged to make this video, because I've had people asking me, should I buy this uniform? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Yes. Sorry for yelling. Buy this uniform. What are you waiting for? There's really no reason not to. You don't think Deadpool should be a woman? I don't really care. Buy the uniform, buddy. Trust me. You'll thank me. Okay? Put all of you're playing with digital dolls anyways, okay? It doesn't really matter whether they're long-haired or short-haired or no-haired, okay? Deadpool is like a walking ball sack, isn't he? So, with that being said, let me know what you guys think of the top 10 must-buy uniforms in Marvel Future Fight. Is this list going to change in 2020? Is it not? And do you have any disagreements? Hit me up in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.